girlfriend from Vegas to be placed on a stool in front of him as a solitary audience and having to tape foam to the king's hand mic to keep his rings from tapping on the barrel. I don't know why neither John nor I have ever written that detail into a song. I swear it might provide an additional verse to Riding with the King. After the Ice Age record came out, I joined John's show at the Duke of York's Theatre in London. We sang that Spinners song again, only with more abandon. And I might have even joined the chorus of the closing version of Stevie Wonder's Heaven Help Us All, although things had become a little foggy for me around that time in the evening. I know for sure that I sang a verse of John's song She Loves the Jerk, as that had been in my solo set now and again. We had shared the stage a year before to McCabe's Guitar Shop Gala, where John had played piano on a chaotic closing version of So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star with me, T-Bone Burnett, Jackson Brown, Warren Zevon, Richard Thompson, and a gang of others. Obviously, I knew Nick Lowe well and had recorded and toured with Jim Keltner by the time they served as the rhythm section for Bring the Family, a record that was originally funded by Demon Records, a company in which I was almost a silent partner. It was an enviable thrill that my pals would be recording with Ry Cooder. It was an inspiration to me to see John really hitting his stride again, just as my own band had dissolved, and I was also looking for musical solutions elsewhere. I recognized how the cohesion of the writing on that record paid off all the promises in John's great songs that had come before. They also had a tone and depth that John has explored in the years since. He has always offered these qualities to other artists, like our friend Roseanne Cash, who sang a Hiatt song just as all the true possibilities of her own writing came into fuller flower and focus. That Thing Called Love turned out to be such a significant song for Bonnie Raitt means so much to me. Bonnie was the first person whose records I owned and adored who ever came to my show as a member of the audience. We've sung together on a number of occasions and even riffed backstage about some record that we might make together, but it's John who actually got the job done and allowed Bonnie to blaze out of the darkness that might have consumed a few of us in those days. For all the songs I've written, I really could never imagine being part of a song as perfectly matched as the one John wrote with Ry Cooder and Jim Dickinson, Across the Borderline. I'll listen to the longing of Freddie Fender's original soundtrack recording, Ry Cooder's incredible vocal and slide rendition, and the way in which Willie Nelson takes possession of the song. But I still return to John's beautifully understated version with Flaco Jimenez. They all tell different parts of a story that was as sad and true then as it is now. I was in the audience at Hammersmith Odeon in '92 to see a true supergroup, Little Village, as they made a case for being the greatest band in the world for about half the set. I could not explain until reading these pages why, even in the midst of that show, I had suspected that this might not be a long-time affair. It is fascinating to read the different perspectives on that collaboration and the acceptance that this was no one man's failing, but perhaps that it is better that it happened for a while than that it never happened at all. When one thinks of all the great music the members of that band have made independently since that time, I cannot imagine them taking paths other than the ones that have led to this date, so that John could work with 2 generations of Dickinsons on Master of Disaster, so that he could be Crossing Muddy Waters and set his eye and his heart on the Eclipse sessions. The frame gets smaller, the canvas stretched tighter, the focus once blurred by tears or trouble sharpens as the light draws in. John has played with his goners. Half the time I'm an imposter. I think we all like to chase away the shadows with dark humor so we don't waste too much time jumping at them. You have to believe there are more days, not so many perhaps, but certainly more, and time is too precious to waste on regret when there is praise and thanks to be given. Elvis Costello, March 1st, 2021.
Introduction.